It is Steelers hate week here at the channel and really across the entire city of Cleveland and Browns fans everywhere. So you know what? I don't only want to beat the Steelers on the field. I want to beat our Steelers talk channel here at Chat Sports in subscribers this week. If you hate the Pittsburgh Steelers and you hate how much Ben Roethlisberger and Mike Tomlin have tormented the Browns for way too long, get your frustration out, putting F-Pit in the comments, and let's beat Steelers talking subs this week. Today's edition of the Cleveland Browns Report is sponsored by Mint Mobile. Listen, they've got monthly plans starting as low as $15, so if you are tired of overpaying for your cell phone provider, make the change right now when you go to mintmobile.com/chatsports. We'll tell you more about their awesome benefits later on in today's show. But let's get into today's show. We're going to look at the latest injury news. Not good news, unfortunately. Myles Garrett with a neck injury popped up on that. We'll talk about that. Plus, we're going to get to some rumors regarding Denzel Ward, Kevin Stefanski, and even Ndamukong Suh, because he seems to never really go away. But let's get through the injury stuff first. So, Adam Schefter reporting that Chase Winovich and Jesse James have been placed on IR. Haven't really seen either of these guys. Winovich, after being traded for Mack Wilson, has just been dealing with a hamstring injury pretty much from day one. Saw him in the first preseason game, MIA after that. So both of these players are going to miss the next 4 games on IR. Here's the rest of the injury report that's a little bit more immediate, okay? Joel Bitonio and Myles Garrett, 2 guys whose status for Thursday is up in the air. Bitonio dealing with a bicep injury, and then Garrett, a neck injury popped up. I can't pinpoint when this happened. Didn't leave the game on Sunday with any kind of injury, so not sure if that's something he just played through or if it's something that came afterwards. Clowney with that ankle, he has already been ruled out for Thursday. That's a bummer, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Winovich, like we mentioned, and then Jesse James. Now, Kevin Stefanski saying he's not sure if Clowney will miss more time beyond Thursday. Remember, after Week 3, the Browns go on the road to Atlanta to play the Falcons in Week 4. Hopefully, Falcons producer Jeffrey Cooperstein here today. Hopefully, if Clowney's unable to go, that's not the end of the world playing a team like Atlanta who doesn't have a top 5 offensive line really to begin with. But this defensive end room is getting a little bit thin at the moment now. I mean, imagine if Garrett and Clowney can't go Thursday. Clowney's already out. Doesn't seem like Garrett's a lock to play. There's no Chase Winovich. All of a sudden, it's Isaiah Thomas, the rookie, and Alex Wright, the rookie. Isaac Rochelle would come up from the practice squad, and he might even start over one of those 2 guys. It's not good. They really need Myles Garrett to play here. And my bigger concern isn't even so much if Rochelle or if Thomas and Alex Wright have to play. It is that the Browns' pass rush has been crucial because it's kind of been bailing out this secondary. Just go back to Week 2 for a moment, all right? Joe Flacco and this Jets offense, a lot of quick routes, right? They didn't have a very long route tree because they didn't trust their offensive line to give Flacco and the receivers enough time for more developed routes to open up. If the opposing team, in this case the Steelers, know, hey, we got all the time in the world, they don't have Clowney or Garrett, they're going to pick this secondary apart that's been suspect. It's just been names and paper. We haven't actually seen it materialize to good play so far in the back half of the defense. That is my bigger concern right now. Now, what I'm also concerned with is if you are overpaying for your current cell phone plan, stop. Make the change right now. Head on over to mintmobile.com/chatsports, and here's an awesome benefit about Mint Mobile. You don't have to spend your college football Saturday missing the Ohio State game or whoever you root for on Saturday by standing in line to get a new cell phone plan. No. Thanks to new eSIM technology, you can make that change. Keep your current phone. Keep your phone number. You don't text everyone, new phone, who dis? Not with Mint Mobile. Now, I put that link in the comments and the description of today's show to make it easy on you guys, so make that change over there. let's get into some rumors. And as always, we like to use our Bernie Kosar heads as kind of a scale of believability. So the first one here, Grant Delpit. Is he to blame for Corey Davis's 66-yard touchdown? I give this 3 Bernie heads. It's not all the way at 4 where it's an absolute fact, because unless someone definitively says black and white what the coverage was, we'll never quite know who was right or who was wrong. But based on what everyone's saying, it looks like Grant Delpit's who the finger is being pointed to. So Denzel Ward, not to nerd out too much here, said he was playing cover 2, which means you got 2 high safeties, John Johnson and Grant Delpit, and all corners and linebackers have their zones underneath. If that's the case, then when Davis runs by Ward, he'll become Grant Delpit's guy. Now, Grant Delpit is thinking there was cover 3, which means Denzel Ward would drop back and stay with Corey Davis. That's where the miscommunication is. Now, if I had to guess, unfortunately, NFL Plus, get your all 22 out so I can at least break this down, but they're being slow in New York. I'm guessing it's probably Grant Delpit's fault, right? I think Denzel Ward, and the way it looked like he was playing cover 2, miscommunication, and that's a bigger issue. That falls to Joe Woods. He's not out of the woods on this one. No pun intended. But that is a big issue that needs to be corrected, because twice now in 2 weeks, huge blown coverage where there's not a defender within 10 yards of the guy. That is unacceptable. That has to be changed. Okay? This is not preseason anymore. These things matter at this point here. Now, Grant Delpit, here's what he said about it. I'm not going to play the blame game with my teammates, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. It was a communication error. And that's fine, right? That is not just exonerate Grant Delpit of all wrongdoing here, but we can't have communication errors. Not in the last 2 minutes of the game. That stuff has to be tightened up. Unfortunately, it's more than just communication right now for Delpit. The nerds at PFF have ripped him apart. He has not been nearly what I thought he would be. Frankly, he has been underwhelming in pass coverage. He had the interception on Baker. Kudos to him. But that's not going to buy you weeks and weeks of forgiveness, all right? He's been ranked the 66th best safety out of 71. That's trash, right? I'm not saying PFF is the Lord's word and you should take it, but at least it's a start to try and analyze the X's and O's of some players who don't have stats like quarterbacks and running backs and receivers to really know who's good and who's not. Now, moving on here, let's get to the second story because I don't want to talk much more about week 2. I want to put it behind us and we're on to Pittsburgh. Week 3. Now, Ndamukong Suh to Cleveland. That is the next segment here. I give this 1 Bernie head. We have talked about this before. Frankly, I didn't even put him in the title. Maybe that was a mistake. I don't know. We'll find out based on how well this video does. But I'm kind of getting a little tired of poking it a little bit to see if there's an update, and there really ever isn't. So Brad Stainbrook, he's been on the Ndamukong Suh beat this entire season at this point now. Suh continues to check in with the Browns and other NFL teams. Cleveland has yet to express any interest back in signing Suh at this time. So, sounds like a one-sided relationship, but maybe interest will change based on this interior defensive line, which, to be honest with you guys, it's not been all that bad. I don't think it's been the biggest problem on this team, okay? Who would have thought that the interior defensive line would be less of a headache than the secondary? Not me. But outside of Jordan Elliott and Taven Bryan, Togi Eyes looked good. Perrion Winfrey, I don't know what's going on there. He spoke to the media today. They asked him about, hey, you got held out of practice. What's going on? And he gave some nonchalant sort of, all rookies have a path. This is my path. It didn't really make sense, honestly. But the Browns do not have a deep rotation at this position. And Ndamukong Suh is someone who can step in right now and just get going. He doesn't need time to work up or ramp up. He's coming off a 6-sack season. He has been healthy his entire career. He has never missed a game to injury. This is someone where if the Browns feel like, hey, things are getting away from us, we can go to him in a pinch. Before we wrap up today's show and get to the rest of the segments, help me out. I know this is a standstill picture here. Your screen's not frozen. We're doing a like competition between our Browns channel and our Steelers channel here at Chat Sports. On the last video, 197 likes on this one. As for the Steelers, which I did dislike, and unsubscribed, 237 likes. They got the leg up right now. I'm tired of losing to Pittsburgh. And if you're tired as well, I don't only want to beat them in subscribers. I don't only want to beat them on the field where it matters most. I want every single victory I can get over Jeremy Beadling and Tom Downey from Steelers Talk at Chat Sports. So go over to the Steelers channel, Steelers Talk by Chat Sports, dislike the video, spam F-Pit. I want to infiltrate behind enemy lines. I want Jeremy, who runs our channel, to refresh his Steelers channel and see F-Pit everywhere. Help me out. You hate the Steelers. Please, you are set free. You guys, I want you all to be like the flying monkeys from Wizard of Oz. Go over there and be a nuisance. Next story. Kevin Stefanski. Is he on the hot seat? Fake news. No. I know a lot of people like to light up comments and reply on Twitter with fire Stefanski and get hot takey really quickly. Stefanski is not on the hot seat, okay? If you're curious with the Vegas odds, by the way, for who's the first coach to get fired, no surprise, it's Matt Rule. The Browns are partially to blame for that. Frank Reich, second. Cliff Kingsbury, third. Mike Vrabel, that's a hot take one. I don't think it happens. AFC South is so bad. I think the winning team out of that division will have 8 wins, so Vrabes can probably stay afloat. Stefanski, then there's Nathaniel Hackett and Josh McDaniels, 2 first-year head coaches. And then Riverboat Ron after that. Listen, when it comes to firing Stefanski, if you are on that train, I'm going to disappoint you right now. It's not going to happen before Deshaun Watson steps on the field. Andrew Berry, the Haslams, and Stefanski were all a part of the odyssey to get Deshaun Watson. They are not going to release their commander-in-chief before they even get to see him play. Now, I'm not saying that Stefanski has a lifetime job with the Cleveland Browns. And I'm not saying because he won Coach of the Year in 2020 that he can coast on that for years to come. No. If things get worse and corrections aren't not made and communication still suffers, that's going to be a major factor for Andrew Berry to decide. Because we have learned does not care what you did for him in the past. He wants to know what you can do for him in the future. Looking at Baker. So, with that in mind, Stefanski's not going anywhere in the meantime. But I'm not saying he has a job for life in Cleveland. Before we get on out of here, we got a couple more housekeeping notes to go through. But I know the real ones always watch the end of the video. So if you have made it this far, spam F-Pit. And here's my deal. Whoever spams F-Pit the most in the comment section, you are going to get a shout out on our watch party for Thursday Night Football. You'll get on screen. You will get some love and recognition from the dog pound of this is the number one Steelers hater out there. So please, I want to see 1,000 F-Pits in the comments. Couple more quick things to get to here. I don't want to spend much time on this topic. I want to move on from it. But Zach Jackson from The Athletic tweeting out Nick Chubb saying, I probably shouldn't have scored right there. It cost us the game. A lot of things went wrong. Here's my take on this. I think it got a little misconstrued in yesterday's video. Nick Chubb is not the reason the Browns lost. Now, I don't want to go full Booger McFarlane, but Nick Chubb is a reason the Browns didn't win. The Browns did not lose because Nick Chubb scored a touchdown at the end and didn't go down and run the clock out. They lost because of special teams and defense collapsing. That's who to blame in terms of why this team lost. But Nick Chubb had an opportunity to end the game, and he missed it. Okay? And that, coupled with the defense collapsing, is why this team lost. Nick Chubb is not to blame, but Nick Chubb does have some skin in this game. I'm not blaming Nick Chubb for the loss. I'm saying he had an opportunity to put the game away and didn't. And that is unfortunate. All right, quick comment of the day here. This one coming in from Kareem. We like to end the videos every once in a while with my favorite comment from the previous video. I loved this one. Disappointing loss, but I know we can bounce back from this. Just got to fix some of these mistakes before Thursday if we want to win. F-Pit, let's go Brownies. A lot of negativity, and that's fine. It's from me too, but it's good to see a nice rainbow out there of F-Pit indeed.